This is the 2022 Ford E-Transit, and I've been waiting to do this Transit video for a while because these have been so hard to get your hands on, especially because right now with EVs from Ford, I mean, they're not coming out in the fastest way possible, nor with any EVs in the industry. So I'm finally excited to tell you that I'm reviewing a Ford E-Transit today. So let's hop right into the video. Starting on the exterior of the Ford E-Transit, let's start up front because you can instantly notice a difference up here, and that's going to be the blue accents in the grille that basically tell you that this is an E-Transit. Of course, you have the massive blue Ford oval up front with kind of the stubby nose front, and this doesn't use an engine, so it's not like they have to store anything super important under there. As for charging, your charger is going to be up front. This just opens by pressing it in. This is a good spot to put it, I think, and it covers the ports right here. If you want to have that fast charging, you can plug it into both these ports right here. Then right next to it, you have an LED indicator to tell you how charged your Transit is. So that is basically all there is up front. That's any different than this. Let's pop the hood and see what's going on in there. So right in here, if you could see, you have your electric motor in here. So this EV motor uses a 68 kilowatt hour battery. It makes 317 pound-feet of torque and 266 horsepower, about 198 kilowatts worth of power, which is pretty healthy. Now that doesn't seem like tons of power, but I got on the throttle on this thing and that instant torque really picks up and gets this thing moving. It has around an estimated 9,500 GCW, gross vehicle weight rating, or gross combined weight rating, you know what I mean. So 9,500 pounds there. This is the low roof long wheelbase configuration. Now you can only get the long wheelbase configuration like this if you have the low roof according to Ford.com. I was looking at their specifications and the normal was the only one that could be paired with the medium roof. Now, that means this has a wheelbase of 148 inches and has a cargo volume of around 277.7 cubic feet behind the front row seats. So plenty of cargo to get you on your way and do the jobs you need to do. Now, if I can open up the side here and we can show you some of that. This is the cargo bay of the Ford E-Transit low roof long wheelbase. So this is that 277 cubic feet of cargo space I was talking about. You have the lights on the interior too with the wiring setup. So if you need to wire anything else, you can do that. You can also get this in a passenger configuration, or you can get it as no box and just have the, open chassis. But yeah, and then you also have the fold open doors in the back as well. All these lock, of course, and then you have the step there to help you get in. But yeah, of course, there's not going to be much to show in the rear of a Transit cargo van. There's nothing much back there. Now I think it's time to hop onto the interior and see what they've done up front that is different compared to the last Transit, because there are some pretty cool changes that they've done to this vehicle. So let's get on the interior. Now moving on to the interior, this is where Ford made sure the driver and the passenger of this vehicle were also pretty comfortable. Now you have a larger screen running the Sync 4 operating system, single zone climate control. Most of your controls are actually embedded into the operating system, and that includes things like your climate control. Really nice satellite navigation that Ford uses. It is super responsive to your touch, and it's nice. You can have a 3D mode of that too, just in case you want that. Wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, same thing that other Sync 4 systems have. Multitasking, all of that, really nice. Love the operating system. It's in the F-150 now, the Mach-E, the new F-150 Lightning, the new Expedition, and it's going to be making its way into a lot more Ford vehicles, and I think that's a great thing. Now, as for comfort, of course, your employees driving these, or you, if you want to buy one, need to be comfortable. This is a very comfortable seat. Now, of course, your passengers want to feel comfortable in this vehicle, and your driver too. This has a very, very plush seating position, and you do feel pretty substantial on the road, so you won't have any issues driving this vehicle. Now, something that I find weird is this is about 96% charged and has about 115 miles of range. Yeah. 96% charge, 115 miles of range. I can only assume that's because it's not been driven that much, but then again, it's a cargo van with an electric motor, and it's only 68 kilowatt hours, which isn't particularly large. So about 115 miles of range is what I have clocked on the economy tab right now. Gauge cluster is a little different. Instead of having a tachometer, you do have a different reading that shows you how much power you are using of the electric motor, and then of course the speedometer on the other side. It's got the fuel level too, so the only thing they changed about that is instead of it being a gas pump symbol, it is now a battery symbol, and it says empty and full, so they didn't really change that, but that's funny. As for other things up here, you do have a cup holder over here and a cup holder over here on the driver's side. Storage isn't really that important up front, but you do have a nice glove box right there and some more storage space up here as well. Now, of course, you also have your massive sun visors that come with the Ford Transit. This one has not been spec'd with the mirrors, so you get that massive dinner plate set in front of you. That way you can block out the sun. Instead of having the normal gear shift lever, now you have the rotary dial as well. Sadly, I'm not going to be driving this thing because they're worth way too much right now to want to drive, and there's not really that much important things about it other than its acceleration, which is pretty insane. Is that, yeah, that's basically what they did to the interior to change it up to make it a little more modern and fit the E-Transit brand. All right, so before concluding this vehicle, I want to go over the pricing of the Ford E-Transit. So this one sits from Ford, spec'd as it is, comes in at a hair over $57,000, $57,060 to be exact. Now that's not a bad price with the amount of practicality, usability, and the fact that you get the electric motor and some upgraded stuff on the inside because of that, and because electricity is far cheaper than gas right now. That cost will be made up in one way or another. But you're not going to get one of these for $57,000, sadly, because dealers are going to be marking these up out the wazoo, because I haven't seen a new Transit in 6 months. That's how low supply, even just the Transit in general, has been, let alone the electric version of it. So maybe you'll end up paying anywhere from a $10,000 to $20,000 markup on these vehicles. It's up to you to decide if that's worth the price, but I can guarantee this one does not have a price yet for customers to buy it. I guarantee it is going to incur some severe markups, and if this one doesn't, other dealers might. So get to them while you can, because they are going to be a rarity right now. And thus concludes the review on the 2022 Ford E-Transit. I do like the vehicle just like I liked the last Transit I did. I just did a Transit Connect video if you also want to see that. So anyways, guys, if you liked the video, make sure you hit the like button down below. And if you want to see more from us, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.